Live from a wellness center near you, it's the Healthy Habits Wellness Update!
Welcome back to the Healthy Habits Wellness Update. I'm your host Angie with my co-host Robert.
That's right, Angie. And what an awesome show we had last week.
It sure was, Robert, and this week promises to be even more exciting. We'll be covering the topics of shopping, snacking, and water.
You know, I always thought that the key to healthy living was having a well-stocked pantry, kitchen, and refrigerator.
It most certainly is, Robert. It's even more effective when you have very healthy choices to replace those unhealthy ones.
We'll be joining Jeannettles in the kitchen to show us healthy ingredient substitutions for your recipes. Off to you, Jeannettles.
Well, welcome, Steve, to my kitchen.
Thank you very much, Jeanette. So today we're going to be going through a pantry, the fridge, the freezer, kind of look at what's in it and kind of what we can replace for better options and see what you have good in there so we can really get you on a safe track to health.
Very good, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, here's the pantry.
Right on.
Look in there. Those are not.
Bad. Okay, Jeanette, so we found some of the bad stuff in the pantry. We've kind of rooted it out, and I've actually brought some healthier options too to kind of be able to restock it with something that might satisfy you in the same type of way. So, honey, also incredibly high in sugar. Peanut butter. Interesting fact about peanut butter. Yes, it does have good fats in it, but if you'll look, 2 tablespoons is 16 grams of fat. 16. That is so much. And then if you look too, there's 190 calories in this one serving, and 140 of those calories are derived directly from fat. And then rice options. Always want to stay away from white. Away from white. Brown good, white bad. Tortillas. Corn. Not the best thing. So French fried onions. That just kind of says it in the title, doesn't it? French fried onions. Crispy, cool, but there's some breading options. There's a few different things you can do, like kashi go lean.
Oh,
You
I
can try
have
that.
some of that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. White.
Oh, yeah.
Bad. White. Bad. White. Bad. White coated in processed fake cheese. Bad. But if you want some healthier, crunchier options, you've got some Wheat Thins multigrain, again, not based in white flour, and then the bran crisp bread as well. Very, very low in the fat, and so it's going to be a much better option, much healthier, much cleaner.
Okay, so I could actually break them up and use them as croutons.
You absolutely could.
Cool.
That's a great idea. Way to piece it together.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So you always have these different options. The cool thing about salsa and hot sauces, it's pretty much free all day long.
Okay.
And you might want to look, because some of them do have some high sodium content, but for the most part, if you can get them pretty natural, like La Victoria, very, very good for you. And that's what I love about those. It can be used as salad dressings, can be replaced for all kinds of stuff. And then as just regular spices, you always want to just pay attention to pepper, stay away from salt.
Right. So,
Bam.
woo!
Okay, so we have pulled out some different options out of the fridge that aren't so great, and it's just common in America. You have fat, you have sugar, you have salt, and then a mixture. Fat and salt, fat and sugar. Good times. So, mayonnaise, bad. Once good, now drown in oil, bad. Butter,
Salt.
salt,
Fat.
bad. Cheddar Little Smokies, fat, processed, cheese, bad. And right back to our white principle.
Yes.
No white.
No white.
White bad. White fat. White sugar.
Got it.
Bad.
I mean, it's just crazy how you get stuff and you think,
Yeah. Okay, Jeanette, so we're done going through the freezer. And we found some bad options and some misleading options, which are good. Gives us some information to be able to share. And then we have some good options too. So, surprising though, that you didn't have a whole bunch of bad stuff in the freezer. So, kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, surprising enough, some vegetables are not that great either because of the starch contents.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to touch real quick. If you do use canned vegetables, make sure to strain those really super good because kind of that milky liquid that gets in them is actually starch. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. All right.
And some of the ones that you want to stay away from, well, this one just nails it perfectly. The 3 vegetables you want to avoid: carrots, corn, peas. And look, it's a medley of all the bad. Biscuits, white.
White.
Bad. Sugar. Okay, so perfect. That concludes the freezer. So what we'll do now is we'll actually go down to the Healthy Habits kitchen. We'll look at some more options that you didn't have in-house, and we'll go from there.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah?
Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, you're very welcome. Hello, Angie.
Hi, Stephen.
Nice to see you again.
You too.
So we were back at the Healthy Habits kitchen to go over some good options so you don't end up in the predicament like we did at Jeanette's house with all the white and corn bad stuff. So, without further ado, Angie, take it away.
Alright, so I'm going to walk you through some suggestions that you can get at the grocery store. Let's start at this end with how to sweeten your foods. So instead of using sugar or high sugary items, you can use things like stevia, sun crystals, or a low-calorie sweetener. We also have agave. Agave won't spike your blood sugar levels, keeps them nice and neutral, so it's a great option. Some other ideas for flavoring, you can use just like Hershey's Cocoa or Nestle's Cocoa. No sweetener added, it's in the baking aisle. You can put that in your protein shakes or add it into baked goods. Then you can use like Quick Oats. You want to make sure and have Quick Oats on hand because you can make your own pancake batter using Quick Oats. Alright, so when we get into healthy starches, then you want to get away from those white bad items and go for things that are whole grain, whole wheat. One of our best options is the La Tortilla High Fiber Low Carb Tortilla. It's only like 80 calories and it has 12 grams of fiber and 8 grams of protein. So half of your meal's protein is already eliminated with just the wrap. So that's a really great option. For more starches, if you like to have like a breakfast cereal, Kashi Goleen has 13 grams of protein per serving and you get a whole cup for your serving. So this is a really good option. Some other cereal choices would be like Fiber One cereal. Just check the protein limit on your cereal. And you can use Fiber One or Kashi Goleen to top your foods. Like if you're baking chicken, you can crush up the cereal, coat the chicken, and then bake it. Or you can use it as a crouton on your salads. Okay, and then as far as like your beans and things, you can do a canned bean, canned kidney beans, black beans, white beans, whichever. You just want to make sure to rinse them very well and rinse all the starch off of the beans. So rinse until the water runs clear and then use them. You can also do your own beans. So here we have a nice mix. So just make sure to rinse them well. Moving on down, we have a couple substitutions for milk. So dairy milk has about 8 grams of sugar per cup from lactose. So you want to make sure to choose one that's a little bit lower in sugar. So we have 2 options here. Silk Organic, for 1 cup serving, it only has 1 gram of sugar. So you're eliminating a lot of sugar and you're still keeping your protein high with 7 grams. Another really good choice is the West Soy unsweetened soy milk. For 100 calories a cup, it's 9 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber, and only 1 gram of sugar. So those are some really great options. Okay, if you don't eat a whole lot of meat, you can still enjoy like things like a healthy hamburger or something like that. This is one of my favorites. So Morningstar has a tomato pizza burger. It's made all from veggies and beans and things like that. It's high in fiber, good in protein, and you can even crumble it up and put it on your salad or add it into a casserole or have it as a hamburger. Alright, if you're doing like canned meats, you just want to make sure that they're packaged in water. So never buy canned chicken or seafood in oil. That's going to add a whole lot of fat and calories. Just make sure it's packaged in water. Press and drain it really well. For cheese or dairy options, we have a couple options. So I know we eliminated all the mayonnaise at the house. So I'm going to give you a couple options to replace mayonnaise on salads, sandwiches, anything like that. Laughing Cow cheese wedges are only 35 calories a wedge, and they have 1.5 grams of fat compared to quite a bit more in mayonnaise. And you can have the whole wedge, so those are a great option. Okay, we have Greek yogurt. You can replace mayonnaise or sour cream in any recipe with Greek yogurt. So look for one that's plain, non-fat. It's going to have lower sugars and, of course, no fat. So another Greek yogurt option, this is one of my favorites, Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt came out with several new flavors. These are portion controlled, which is always really wonderful to have your food portion controlled, ready to go. They're 80 calories a serving and 12 grams of protein, so it's great for a snack or anything. Parmesan cheese is a really good option for adding some flavor with not very many fat and calories. So 1 tablespoon of this Parmesan cheese is only 15 calories and 6 grams of protein. So it's a great topper for any dish. Okay, so if you like flavor, some really good ways to add flavor without a whole lot of calories, salsa. Salsa put on everything. So this one here, 2 tablespoons, only 10 calories. You can find this brand pretty much anywhere, but just look that you're not going to add too much sugars or anything like that, and check the sodium level, and that'll be good. We're going to move on now to some other ways to flavor your food. So I have a whole lineup of doing like some vinegars, okay? Usually at my house, I have like every flavor of vinegar available. You can put it on salads, vegetables, make your own barbecue sauces to keep the sugars low, and they're really great for adding flavor. This is a new item that was introduced to us. So a lot of people like soy sauce. Okay, this is liquid aminos. The company is called Bragg. It comes in a spray bottle. It also comes in a larger size. Soy sauces tend to be really high in sodium. This one here is only 160 milligrams of sodium for a serving, whereas soy sauce goes really high, and it comes in a spritzer. So you can control the usage a lot more, and it's good on, I've heard it's good on like popcorn. So if you treat yourself to some popcorn, very slight occasion, then this is a great way to flavor it without adding salt or butter. Butter's bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and you can also, like when you do your stir-fry vegetables, spray this on. Mustard is a really great condiment of choice, very low calorie. Stay away from things with creamy sauces or mayonnaise sauces. For salads, use your salsa or maybe a salad spritzer or low calorie salad dressing, and make sure to watch the fat content. Butter, we just go with as light as possible. If you just want the butter flavor, there's butter sprays available. There are 0 calories, and you just spritz it on, and it gives you that nice flavor with all the fat, without all the fat and calories. Go as light as you can if you're using any fruit preserves. There are sugar-free options or low sugar options. Okay, fruits and vegetables, you really opened up to possibilities there. Really, the only things that we eliminated are the high starch items. So in the vegetables, you want to avoid peas, carrots, potatoes, corn. So the others are really opened up. If you have any questions as far as any further vegetable items, make sure to ask your coach. Fruits, those ones are a little more limited for your weight loss. So you can enjoy Granny Smith apple, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, pretty much the berries. Strawberries, grapefruit, lemons, and limes. Remember that your fruits are limited to before 3 o'clock, just like the starches. Okay, we're going to move on down. I have a couple more items for you. Light string cheese is really good to have on hand for just a quick snack on the go. You can enjoy walnuts or almonds. Just make sure to measure them out. It would be a really good idea if you bought a bag of walnuts this size. What I would recommend is open up the baggie and then measure out your walnuts, put them into little sandwich bags, and then stick them back in here so that when you're going to snack, you grab the right portion size. Because it'd be pretty easy to just keep on eating, and your calories can add up really quickly. Another really good option is edamame. Really great soy protein, and we learned in week 1 that soy protein is the only plant-based protein that is complete in all of your amino acids, the essential ones. So make sure to try some edamame. Okay, so we also have flaxseed here. You can use whole flax flaxseed, like on your salads or baking, or ground flaxseed in sauces, dips, or your shakes. It'll add your fiber, and it's also a really great source of omega-3s. Has a little bit of protein too. Make sure that you choose healthy oils. I use olive oil quite a bit. Just remember the flash point's a little lower, so you don't want to heat things as high as a vegetable oil. Your other choices are like coconut oil, grapeseed oil, and olive oil. Okay, for eggs, what we do is you can buy the large container of eggs and then separate them out. I would really limit myself to 1 yolk a day. If you have to have a yolk, just do one. 1 yolk has 7 grams of fat and enough cholesterol for an entire day. So what I do when I do a scramble is I'll use 1 whole egg, and then the other 2 or 3 eggs I separate out and just use the whites. So that's a really good thing to remember. If you're bad at throwing things away and you're like, oh, I just can't get rid of a yolk, then get your egg whites in a carton, okay? All right, I will be back in a few minutes just to explain a couple more things. All right, I'm going to share with you a couple more options for your grains. I didn't have them all available here today, but I want to make sure that you know what you can pick up. So there's things like your whole wheat breads or whole grain breads. The really good choices, of course, are the La Tortilla high fiber, low carb tortilla, flat out bread. You can do English muffins. Those are all great, or a bagel. Just remember that your limit for starch per day is 100 calories. So try to shop for your breads by looking at the serving size and the amount of calories per serving to make sure that you're going to actually get a whole sandwich. So when you go to choose your bread, I like to look for a 50 calorie bread so that I can have 2 pieces of bread for my 100 calorie limit. For your rices, it's good to remember not to use any white rice. So you're going to swap that out with brown rice, long grain rice, and wild rice. Instead of buying all of your fruits and vegetables fresh, remember to shop from the frozen section as well. Just make sure that they're not adding any sugar or salt in the packaging. You can also use canned vegetables, just check the sodium limit. They're also great for canned vegetables. You can add them to your soups and your sauces to increase your vegetable intake per day. A really good way to add flavor when preparing your vegetables for your meal is to steam them above a vegetable or a chicken broth for more flavor than just boiling them in water. Don't forget to stock up on your dried foods like sun-dried tomatoes and dried mushrooms. Those won't ever go bad, and you can set them in to your pantry to be ready to prepare your soups and sauces. We all love peanut butter, but it's extremely high in fat content. A really good replacement is a product called PB2. It's a powdered peanut butter. You just rehydrate it with water, and it's a really great choice for adding to your protein shake. Make sure to store your nuts in the refrigerator or freezer to prevent the oils from going rancid. A really great way to make sure that your food always has proper flavor is to never run low on the spice cabinet. Your spices are really low in calories or anything else. Just check the sodium content, but make sure that your spices are well stocked and every healthy food will taste great. Along with your spices, make sure to include a variety of extracts. My favorites are vanilla and almond, and you can add them to a lot of variety of foods to add some really great flavor, like Greek yogurt. You can really enhance the flavor of a non-fat plain Greek yogurt by adding just a little bit of extract. It's also a great way to add flavor to your protein shakes. In your freezer, make sure you have things available like turkey breasts, chicken breasts, soy crumbles, anything to make those last-minute meals easier to handle without having to run to the grocery store to find your fresh sources of protein. When you're preparing a hot meal, instead of dousing your pan with oil, try a light spray of a non-stick oil spray or buy an oil pump so that you can lightly mist the oil in the pan rather than pouring it in. That'll help control a lot of calories and fat content in your food. When you're making soups or sauces, a really great way to thicken a dish without adding flour is to put a little bit of the vegetables and the sauce into the blender, blend it up, and then pour it back into the soup. That'll make your soup nice and thick without having to add any extra calories. When you've found a favorite dish, the next time you go to prepare it, make a double batch and freeze individual portions so that when you're really tired and you need to prepare a healthy meal, you have one available and already done. You just reheat and go. We've all heard it many times, but probably one of the best tips you'll ever hear is to never shop hungry and unprepared. So make your list ahead of time for the meals you plan to eat that week and go to the grocery store, stick to your list. Don't migrate off of your grocery list. As soon as you get home from the grocery store, make sure to organize your food so that it's ready to go. Break down all of your packages and put things into the individual serving size so that you don't have the temptation to eat a little too much. It's a lot easier when things are prepared. And if you're super organized, you can put your nutrition facts right on the baggie so when you toss it in your lunch bag, you don't have to look it up later. Okay, now that we've had our tasteful tips, we're going to prepare to show you how to complete a meal and get the right combination of foods. Also, how to prepare your snacks. We're going to talk about healthy snacking and combining your meals properly. The key to getting healthy snacks is to plan ahead and make sure that you combine your food groups properly for a balanced meal. I have a graph here to help me explain how to do that. So first, let's go over the different food groups. So we have the refined sugars and simple carbohydrates. Those consist of sugar, white breads, rice, pasta, and potatoes. What happens if you eat that food alone, you'll see is the red line here. You're going to get a really quick pick-me-up and then just as fast it'll drop off. It's only going to sustain your energy and hunger control for about 10 minutes. Not a good choice. Okay, the next one is our complex carbohydrates. These are your healthy carbohydrates and they consist of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. But when eaten alone without combining with anything else, will follow the yellow line. Dips you up just a little and then slowly drops you off, holding you over for only 30 to 60 minutes. So still not the proper snack or meal. Then we have our lean proteins, which we all know lean protein is a really good choice, like your chicken, tuna, egg whites, those kinds of things, low-fat dairies. But if you eat it on its own, what happens will follow the blue line. Goes up to a nice level and then slowly starts to drop off. Protein alone will hold you for 2 to 3 hours, but you start to dip. And what we want to avoid is that dip. We don't want you to feel hungry, lose your energy or concentration before your next meal is kicked in. So the proper way to eat any meal or snack is to make sure to combine your complex carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, with a lean protein. We'll follow the green line for this example. So you can see it takes you all the way to the top of your hunger control, energy, focus, and helps you control your blood sugar level. And it will carry you for 3+ hours without dipping down. So before it's time to even eat your next meal, you're not hungry yet, you don't have any cravings, your energy is still at the right place, and your blood sugar has not even begun to drop. So that's the perfect way to combine your meal. With any further questions, be sure to ask your personal wellness coach. Now we're going to talk about proper hydration with water. Drinking plenty of water is an important part of maintaining a healthy weight and a nutritious diet. Water plays an important and essential role in helping your body process nutrients, maintain normal circulation, and keeping the balance of fluids. How much water is enough? Your coach has personalized your water program specifically for you. We've taken your goal weight, divided by 2, and added 30 ounces for proper hydration. Make sure to hit your goal by the end of the day. You want to keep on track with your water throughout the day. A really good way to track your water is on your water bottle while you're starting out to remember how many you have to drink. Let's say your goal is 5 bottles. Put 5 rubber bands or hair ties on your bottle. As you drink a bottle and refill it, just move the rubber band down on the bottle to show you that you've drank 1 and you have 4 left. It's a really good tip for drinking water. You'll also find some really helpful apps on your phone or in your Food Journal app for tracking your water, so be sure to look for those. For any more information on water intake, be sure to check with your personal wellness coach. Our poor friend Steven has been running around crazy all day and has forgotten his water bottle. He's experienced some pretty uncomfortable symptoms. Let's check with Steven and see what he is experiencing.
I have a headache, and I see visual snow, and I really think my blood pressure is decreased. It's making me feel dizzy, like I want to faint. And I bet you $1,000 I'm constipated. And I'm so thirsty I don't even want to drink. I can't pee. And when I do, it's so dark, it's not even funny. I am just so tired. I have no idea why. I'm frickin' irritable as can be. And my mouth is just so dry. This sucks.
Poor Steven, don't let those symptoms happen to you. Make sure to follow your water guidelines and track them daily. Now, I'd like to thank you for joining me and follow me back to the studio. I'll be joining Robert shortly.
That was a great class today. We learned how to make healthy choices while shopping and snacking. We also covered proper hydration.
That's right, Robert. And for more information, you can follow us on our Facebook page. The link is below. And if you need more assistance, be sure to be in contact with your coach. They should be calling you before the end of the week.
And please don't forget to report your current weight to the Weight Loss Challenge.
Next week, be sure to join us for more information on metabolism.
This is Robert.
And this is Angie.
For Healthy Habits, signing out.